starting games in first periods? Because it doesn't seem to me there's a lot of games you've really grabbed hold of, maybe in the first 10 or 15 minutes. What are you still searching for in that area?
Exactly that. Where we impose our will on other teams, and we don't wait for individual catalysts or situations to poke or prod our team so that we get going. Let's be the catalyst as a group. So we're looking for that, and I thought today's practice was a prime example. It was designed to get going really quick, not wade in, and it took us a little while. It took a little bit of barking for us to activate and get going, but once we barked at them, they responded extremely well. We had a good, crisp, fast practice, and we got our work done. So we're looking for the collective push right off the bat versus waiting for something to happen, good or bad.
Just on the penalty kill, Todd, can you just give us a sense for how much work goes into trying to solve the problems that you're finding, and just I guess I would imagine you leave no stone unturned in trying to figure this out.
No, it's, when things aren't going well, we perhaps overwork and we overanalyze, and we have to, and I'm talking about us as a staff first and foremost, we have to remember what it's like to play. There isn't a perfect play. The puck bounces, it jumps on guys. If they're in position and they're attempting to do the right thing, then we're okay with that. So we evaluate every special team from the face-off on through, both power play and penalty kill. We analyze the players' production in certain areas. We try and move guys around. You've seen that in the power play, somewhat on the penalty kill lately. We talk about our approach to it, or our system, if you will. Does it fit the players that we have here? Are there major changes we need to make? So that goes into our day. Then we take it to the players, and the accountability part's important. They see themselves doing it right, and they see themselves doing it wrong, and we try and adjust and make the changes.
The penalty kill in particular, and even on home ice, can you put into perspective how much that one element of the game has hampered your team this season? Immensely.
One word, immensely. It's hampered us immensely. We've very seldom come out of a home game clean, which puts you down 1-0 to begin with, and that puts a strain on the mental part, of the team. And unfortunately for us, we're taking more penalties than we're drawing as well. So the taking of the penalty and the lack of the penalty kill, that doesn't marry very well. You can take the penalties if you're killing at 85-90%. We have to fix the taking of and the killing of the penalty.
Last one for me on the PK, just the idea of getting passes coming through the box. Rule of thumb, if a pass comes through the middle of the box, has a mistake been made on the penalty kill? Is that a bait?
It tends to be. Now, you got to give the other team some credit, too. There are some talented players in the league that can make some thread-like passes, some saucer-type passes through skates and onto sticks, and that's going to happen. But when it consistently happens, we're either out of position or we've made a wrong read and we've erred. And we don't keep the puck on one side of the ice, and it's a lot easier being the goaltender on the penalty kill when it stays on one side of the ice. You can predict where it might go, and we haven't done a good job of it.
Todd, you asked the players what's the difference between this year's team and last year's team, and they have no answers. Is that disturbing this late into the season where they've played 28 games?
Well, they might have the answers. They may not want to tell you.
Why wouldn't they want to tell us?
Well, I don't know. That's just a guess on my behalf. I bet you they have some answers and they don't want to share it with Maddie or anybody else. They're not, the players are pretty bright, they're pretty smart. They have an idea of what's going right and what's going wrong. And they are, they're attempting to fix it and repair it. And they'll continue to do that. But, for me, the big part is as Reed mentioned, the catalyst to get us going in the game. And it has to be team-wide. It can't just be in an event or one individual.
So would it be easier, ask the players this too, if it was just one thing that was really poor, to fix? It seems like from game to game it's something else. So it adds up to like 6 different things.
Yeah, I've used the analogy that, you know, you open up the hood and you fix the radiator, and then the oil pan falls off, and then the fan belt goes, and I don't even know if they make cars like that anymore, do they, Matty? But
they do with my cars.
Yeah, mine too. But that's how it's been for us. We're trying to play catch up all the time. We get one thing kind of up and running, and we go to another. And the teams that are having success right now, they get ahead. They're able to add things to their game. Right now, we're trying to fix things, and we've got to find a way to get out of it quickly.
One last thing: why do you have to keep barking at them when they play a good game? Why can't they just play another good game after that?
Well, they're human, and we all need to be reminded that there's certain things that we need to do on a daily basis. I'm guessing your wife barks at you a little bit just to keep you honest too. No? You've told me. Anyhow, no, they're human, and they need to be reminded. I think in like today's situation, I thought we carried yesterday's game into today's practice. They kind of had their shoulders rolled over, and they weren't prepared to start, so the catalyst was the coach today, and he barked a little bit, and then we were good. We looked like a really good team today in practice. Now, we did that for 2 days before we played against Philly. As I said last night, the reward should show up in the game. That's the fun time. That's when you get to put it all together, and we're fighting that right now.
Todd, one of the guys mentioned it, I think you alluded to it as well, that they seem to be reacting negatively to something good or bad at times during the games. Can you maybe expand on that?
Well, for us, there's been more negative than positive, so that's going to be the dominant characteristic between our ears. Yet there's good that occurs in the game as well, and we're trying to catch our players doing the things correct and right so that we can keep them propped up and we're not harping on them all the time. I think that's really important for anybody in any sport. But we just need more volume of that, and our mindset will change a little bit. But what comes first? Do you do it right and then you get the confidence, or do you get confidence and then do it right? I think you do it right first, and you do it right all the time, and then you just get more and more confident.
Todd, a couple of things. How did you think LB played last night? And the other thing, can we anticipate a few lineup changes with guys like Walker and Davidson and Slep?
Yeah, we'll make some lineup changes moving forward. And, you know, we play 3 and 4 now with travel on the road, so there's going to be some bodies going in and out. What was the other part of the... Oh, LB? Well, I think you just answered your question. He was outstanding. He made some really, really good saves. The unordinary save that we talked about before the game. The one ordinary save he needed to make, it got through him. But the last thing that anybody can insinuate is pinning that game on goaltending, because it wasn't.